Yeah, that was a much needed bye week. Sometimes I don't really think people understand that going 9 in a row is a lot harder, um, a lot harder than what you really realize. So that was a much needed, much timed bye week for us. And, the guys came back in with a good mindset this morning.
What was the biggest thing that you noticed about the way people have been, like, let's say from after the Minnesota game to where they are now? Have you seen just kind of that sense of urgency, that energy that you had earlier in the year?
Yeah, I think it's encouraging. I think guys are, really understanding what's at stake for us, and it could go one of two ways. And I think we're moving in a positive direction. I think the mindset throughout the team is really, really good, and I'm really pleased with that.
At the beginning of the season, you got the whole season in front of you, obviously, but now that the season is very, very short, and how do you compartmentalize that one game at a time? Because each game is as critical as possible, and you have to get a win to move on to a bowl game.
Right. Yeah. So the first 9 are in the past, and now it's focusing on one at a time and not looking back to we should have had this one. We missed a couple in that one. It's just understanding that the next game is the biggest one, and we just got to focus on that. And I think we're gonna do it. I think the coaches have done a good job of emphasizing that, and we really understand what's at stake.
Not playing on a Saturday. I mean, you guys watching what happened in Ann Arbor or West Lafayette, or teams you got to play. I mean, how did you approach that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, not only just Big Ten games. I think when you play on a Friday, you just have the opportunity to watch probably a lot of teams that you haven't got to see throughout the country, and it was cool just to be able to sit down and take a deep breath and just watch football and enjoy it on a Saturday, because that's what we grew up, loving, and sometimes you don't get the opportunity to watch it as much as you'd like to in the season. So it was cool the last 2 Saturdays just to be able to get to watch college football.
So what game did you really kind of flick your disc?
So obviously I did watch the Big Ten games. I watched the Penn State-Michigan game, then I was Purdue and Iowa. We watched Notre Dame at night against Northwestern, then LSU and Bama were the 4 that I probably watched the most on Saturday.
You guys went through this last year to where you went into the last game of the season needing win to get bowl eligibility. You're facing, another, hey, we got to win every week. What lessons did you guys learn last year that can help you this year?
Yeah, I would say we probably did a little bit too much overlooking, and we knew that we needed to win, and we probably put too much pressure on ourselves, and we weren't successful. I think. Now understanding that, all right, let's just focus on this one, and let's focus on this week of preparation and not worry about anything else, and just go out and win on Saturday, because that's the next game.
Does the bye give you guys a jump start on Maryland, whether it's film or whatever? How does that help?
Oh, absolutely. When you have an extra week, you can start obviously prepping a little bit earlier, and you don't have to go rush through everything. I would say you can kind of settle down and still get your rest and still get your body back while starting prep. So today we got after it a little bit more than we usually do on a Monday, just because we let our bodies rest a little bit more and our minds rest last week. So we did get a little bit of a jump start.
What did you see from their defense?
Yeah, they're athletic. They're a good defense, and probably a better defense than what they get credit for. They're solid. They're good. So we'll have our hands full with them.
Goals for yourself this last quarter of the season that you have to do better than you did the first quarter?
I would probably just say more consistent, because there's flashes of really good football from my end, but at the same time there's definitely stuff that needs to be improved upon, and just doing it at a more consistent rate to give us a chance to win.
Both Maryland and Indiana, it's very similar, fighting for bowl eligibility right now, but knowing that they're coming in here with that same hunger, and you guys are looking the same way. How do you approach this, especially a team that you guys met last year in a tough game then that came out losing? What do you got to do to change that this year?
Yeah, so we know what they are capable of. We went up there and played well on offense, but they still came out on top. So we know what they're capable of. We know they're good, and like I said, it's just a matter of prep, and we got a head start on our prep, and you're just continuing to work, continuing to push, and not overlooking anything, because it is a big one, and we're back at home, so we'll be ready.
Dad leaves in his first year as team chaplain. What kind of influence has he been on you?
Oh, Vad's been awesome. He's a guy that kind of took me under his wing right away. A guy that I kind of gravitated to, a former quarterback, a guy that not only I can go to for football advice, but a guy that I can go to for life advice. And He's been really good to this team. He fits in, and I think he's actually down there playing ping pong in the locker room right now. So he's just an awesome guy. Awesome for this team, and we're definitely glad to have him.
Is there a moment that kind of stands out to you at all since he's started?
So I actually, when he was a guest speaker when we were playing up at Maryland last year.
Right.
And I went and talked to him, and I sat and I talked to him in the hotel the night before the Maryland game, actually, for 30 minutes. I couldn't tell you what that conversation was about, but it just goes to show how down to earth he is and how easy he is to get along with. He's definitely a guy that I've gravitated towards ever since he's been here.
We've seen some progress from Reese Taylor. Now he's had some chance to work with you.
Oh, absolutely. I think his confidence is raising for sure. Because when he came in, it's hard to not play quarterback in college football for 8-9 weeks and just be thrown into a college offense. And he's doing a good job of just kind of letting the game come to him and understanding a lot more. And he's working really hard. So.
In that position, what does he bring to the table that will complement you at quarterback, where you guys can maybe filter those things together?
Yeah, his athleticism, obviously, he's so quick and shifty, and when defenses have to account for him when he has the ball in his hands, it's really hard to do. So, he's doing a really good job.
How's Michael doing? That's a tough thing he had to absorb. How's he doing?
He's doing a good job. His spirits are high. Every time I see him, he's not really talking about football or anything. We're just joking around with each other, and he's got a smile on his face, so he's doing a really good job with it.
Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, man.